On behalf of all of you, I want to thank sincerely Dr. Abdiweli Mohamed Ali, the Prime Minister of the Republic of Somalia, for these opening remarks. As I said, the representative of the African Union wasn't here yesterday and has a few remarks to make. Mr. Wafula.
Thank you, Excellency. Dr. Abdiweli, the Prime Minister of the Republic of Somalia, the Special Representative of the Secretary General, honorable ministers and members of Parliament who are here with us, heads of delegations, excellencies, ambassadors, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the chairperson of the African Union Commission, I would like to join my colleagues to welcome you to this very important consultative meeting. I would like, as also one of the members of the international community and representative of the African Union based here in Somalia, to welcome you and to ask you to constructively participate in this important consultation. Now, the holding of this conference in Mogadishu is itself testament to immense progress that has been recorded on the ground by AMISOM peacekeepers and the TFG forces. A few weeks ago, the Joint Security Committee also convened in Mogadishu for the very first time since 2009. The significance of these developments is certainly not lost on us. Rather, they provide further impetus to our ongoing efforts to support the people of Somalia in finding a lasting peace and security. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, over the next 2 days, the people of Somalia will debate in an open and frank manner on the future of their country. The level of representation today by all the stakeholders, particularly the Somali institutions, has already demonstrated a collective desire to develop an all-inclusive strategy for the implementation of the core tasks entrusted to the transition of federal institutions. This deserves to be applauded. I would like to reassure the people of Somalia and our international partners that the African Union remains fully seized of the situation in Somalia. The African Union considers this consultative conference as a critical stage in the Djibouti peace process, and it is closely following these deliberations. You will recall that the Peace and Security Council of the African Union, at its 273rd meeting held in Addis Ababa on the 21st of April, appealed to the transitional institutions to take all the necessary steps to ensure the successful convening of this meeting in Mogadishu, as well as to map out a clear political strategy in line with the tasks set out in the Djibouti Agreement. The Council also called on the Somali leaders and institutions to build upon the recent positive developments on the political front, with the signing of the Kampala Accord on the 9th of June 2011 and the commendable progress achieved so far in its implementation. It further highlighted the importance of the TFIs accelerating the political process as an essential element in consolidating the remarkable security gains achieved by the TFG and AMISOM in the past few months. As we formally enter the second day of these important deliberations, I would like to take this opportunity to reiterate the call by the African Union Peace and Security Council for the Somali leaders and institutions to work cohesively in addressing the political, security and humanitarian challenges confronting this country. There is no doubt that the transitional institutions and other Somali stakeholders have done a commendable job so far in the implementation of the Kampala Accord. Nonetheless, the substantive work remains in the adoption, implementation of the transitional roadmap to be adopted. That is why this consultative meeting remains very critical. Somali stakeholders participating in this consultative meeting have a responsibility to come up with a roadmap that contains very clear benchmarks and timelines of transitions with the roadmap implementation schedule of activities. As envisaged in the draft roadmap developed by the main Somali parties, participants at this consultative conference should strive to reach a consensus on core issues such as increased security across the country. I mean increased security across the country, adoption of a constitution, greater outreach, and national reconciliation. Good governance, transparency, accountability, and enhanced service delivery to the population are among the important issues. These tasks are those that are spelled out in the Transitional Federal Charter, the Djibouti Agreement, and the Kampala Accord. The challenge now is to more concisely articulate these tasks into concrete deliverables, place them within specific timelines, and develop transparent and effective compliance mechanisms. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to remind that the primary responsibility to resolve the protracted conflict in Somalia rests with all the people of Somalia. And it is themselves, the people of Somalia, that have the key to resolving this problem. The African Union and the United Nations, together with all the other international partners, are firmly supporting the peace and recovery efforts through our facilitative role. Through our facilitative role and the provision of technical and material support to the Somali institutions. However, the people of Somalia must continue to exercise full ownership of this process. One of the best means of demonstrating this Somali ownership is through the decision to be reached at this consultative meeting. In conclusion, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you once again for your honored participation in this consultative forum. It is our expectation that at the end of the 3 days of brainstorming, technical work, and decision making, the Somali stakeholders would reach a consensus on a clear blueprint for the remaining months of the transition process. I wish all participants a good day, good stay here all through, and I am optimistic that there will be very fruitful discussions over the next 2 days, and we will arrive at a consensus and adopt the roadmap. With those few remarks, I thank you very much.